Congresswoman Ilhan Omar setting off a round of Democratic infighting after appearing to compare the U.S. and Israel to Hamas and Taliban. She's now walked back some of her statements to a degree. Here to react, New York Congressman, member of the House Foreign Relations Committee himself, the co-chair of the House GOP Israel Caucus, who's running for governor of New York, Lee Zeldin. Congressman, first things first. She's on the Foreign Relations Committee. She thinks Hamas and Taliban and the U.S. and Israel are equitable, are equal, and are comparable. Where do you go from here with this statement?
It's not comparable, and we need to see more Democrats in Congress speaking out. We need Speaker Pelosi to remove her from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Ilhan Omar should have been appointed to this committee in the first place, and this isn't some clean slate going into this. Ilhan Omar has, in the past, in addition to all of her anti-Semitic remarks that she's made, she's blamed U.S. foreign policy for the al-Shabaab attack in Kenya. She's blamed U.S. foreign policy for the suffering of the Venezuelan people, not blaming Maduro. She once requested leniency for ISIS fighters to a judge. Why would she even be appointed to this committee in the first place is my question. We all know that if Ilhan Omar was a Republican, Pelosi would be the one leading the fight to hold her accountable. Big time double standard here. It's good that some Democrats are starting to speak up a bit, but there needs to be a vote on her removal from that committee if they're not going to do it on their own.
So can you do it from the minority position?
There is a mechanism for bringing up a privilege resolution on the floor of the House. Hopefully that's something that gets done, and that would force a vote. It'd be interesting to see if these Democrats who are willing to say some stuff publicly would be then voting to protect her, to keep her on the committee. It's time for her to count and to throw her off that committee. By the way, that's the least of the consequences here. And this doesn't, one thing that she likes to say in defense, she starts like to using her biographical, demographical information as her defense. This has nothing to do with religion, ethnicity, race, gender, political party. This has to do with her as a member of Congress putting out all this anti-American propaganda. There should be a very heavy political price to be paid.
You know, there's a theory that when you're a first-generation American, you're the most appreciative American. You studied citizenship, you worked hard to get it, it's not easy. Doesn't seem to be the case with her.
Yeah, I mean, it's a non-starter, the idea of comparing the United States to a terrorist organization, especially a member of Congress or people close to Congress. But it's outrageous even if any American who's not anything to do with politics anywhere in this country we're out there speaking out like this. So Ilhan Omar is someone's, there's a lot of people following her, and they look to her as their leader. And this is something that if you don't confront it, it's going to get worse.
By the way, in case you think she's losing support from the squad, forget it. Rashida Tlaib, freedom of speech doesn't exist for Muslim women. The benefit of the doubt doesn't exist for Muslim women. AOC, pretty sick and tired of the constant vilification, intentional mischaracterization, and public targeting of Ilhan Omar, Cori Bush, Jamal Brown, all of them part of the so-called squad. So they do not have leverage. The Pelosi bunch does not have leverage. They lose the squad, they basically lose the majority. They're not going to get anything passed. So I wouldn't hold your breath, Congressman. They're not going to rattle her cage anymore, it doesn't seem. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah. You got it. Thank you.